Hello everyone and welcome back to another video. So in today's video I am going to do a Pinguicula grandiflora Gamier update, as well as showing some of the hybernaculars that I planted in the cell tray and basically all the other grandifloras that I've got in the greenhouse and what they currently look like. So those that I've sown from seed, those I've sown from Gamier, and those I've got as mature plants. So a lot of them are still in the greenhouse. I have sown most of them out in the bog barrels when they were in their hybernacular form, but as it's been a lot warmer in the greenhouse, these ones are a lot more ahead than those outside, which I will put a picture over just to show you what the outside ones currently look like, because I redid the second bog barrel, so I just brought a load of them in here and I'm still in the process of rearranging that second one just to put everything back. So I've got several grandifloras in here, and these are mainly ones that I've taken out from the bog barrels or stripped the Gamier off of and put the older hybernaculars back out. So here are some Gamier, which are also coming up due to the lovely weather we've had recently. It's a really nice warm day today as well. And you can see some of them are a little bigger, and these are some smaller ones around. So these are all just scattered. I haven't actually planted these up yet, but they are really progressing as coming out of dormancy and looking really great at the moment. So here's the first example of one I did in the previous video, which is the hybernaculars that I sowed in the tray. So these were smaller hybernaculars which I have just planted up in this 8-cell cut tray that I've got, and you can see that they're at different stages. So you can see some here are a lot bigger than others, so the lighting's not great due to the sun. Okay, there you go. And obviously some have only just started coming out, but they're all still alive and they're looking great. And the hybernaculars usually are, and hopefully they'll get really big this year. So another type of Pinguicula, Temperate Pinguicula I've got, which technically is crossed with a grandiflora, so it still counts in this grandiflora update kind of video, is the Pinguicula I Spy. And this is a new cultivar that I got late in the season, so I've never seen this before and there isn't many pictures online. So it'll be interesting to see what it's got. So at the moment it looks like this, which I guess the leaves are a little bit more elongated than the typical grandiflora, but it's too early really to tell if this is going to have any major significant difference. I really hope it does have a nice wow factor to it. And I had a couple of Gamier, and at the moment I've only got one surviving here, unfortunately, but I'm happy for the big plant that will produce loads of Gamier at the end of the season. So I've got a few others here. These are the ones that were originally in the greenhouse, as they've got the label in, and you can see they're just starting coming up as well. So I've got a few dotted one really. I've sowed a few Gamier around the outside, and everything's just coming up in different stages really. So you can see here, some of these you can see I've taken out the bog barrel because there's not much soil in here, and they were only going to be in here temporary, but obviously they've started growing a bit ahead of time because I just have not had time to place them back outside, but I'll do that very shortly. And you can see that they start coming out and growing their roots. So in their hybernacular form they only have the dead roots from the previous season and don't have any kind of living roots really. They kind of stay in that bulbous form. And then once it comes into the spring summer and they start going a bit warmer, you can see the white roots that they've got, which shows how they're going to start anchoring back. And that's why the ones on the side haven't really got much anchorage, it had no roots, and then soon will prop itself up and be really nice like this. So these are my older grandiflora which need to go back outside, but these are also looking great. So as I had quite a few original plants, and each hybernaculum, especially the mature ones, produced about 10 to 20 Gamier each, I have got so much, and this is just half of it which is in the greenhouse. The rest of it is still outside in the bog barrels, which I just either did not collect, sow, and just left on the plant. So they're going to be nice clusters again this year, but I have got so much of it. So in this, and that is another cut cell tray, which is a larger 7cm cell tray, and in each cell there's 6 Gamier, which you can see have all just started coming up as well in different forms. So you can see some ahead of others, but this really nice warm weather we've had recently has been great for these plants, and you can see the little roots on some of them as well as they're just starting to prop themselves upright. And this is a tray that I sowed right at the beginning of the winter season when they first went into hybernaculars and create Gamier. This is when I had more time to be ahead of everything, and you see these, I sowed these in lines and they all started coming up. They did get scattered about because when the condensation in the greenhouse dripped on the trays, then they all just kind of got scattered about, which is what would naturally happen in the wild and what happened in the bog barrels as well when the rain fell. But you can see where they all are now, because I did lose a few for a bit, but there is loads in this tray, which will make a really nice display actually when they all come up. So there'll be a really nice hopefully nice large plants, because my old ones were originally from Gamier and they produce really nice huge plants later in the season. So I just got a couple more pots in the greenhouse to show. So this one is another one that I did in the video, and I sowed 9 Gamier in this pot, which you can see are all starting to come up now. Just excuse the light, it's just a bit hard to film when the weather gets a bit warmer, so much sun. But yeah, you can see here that they're all starting to come up now, and they're looking really nice. And there's a little 2 there actually, so that one's either come from that corner because there was 9, so it's either mixed in with that 1, or that was 2 in one place. But you can see again different stages, but this is what they look like when they first start coming up, which they're really sweet and they look great. And secondly, these are the ones I originally grew from seed back in 2019, and these have done really well. As you can see, they're a lot smaller, but they did really great. They had their first hibernacula and even created Gamier, which I didn't even expect. But I didn't take or sow any of the Gamier off of them this year, and I don't know if they're going to come up a little bit more clusters. I think they will later on in the season, like my other ones did. But these look amazing. They're such a really nice colour. They're simplistic, but they're really nice, really hardy, and they're perfect for especially UK native bog barrels. If anybody is looking for a nice plant to have outside all year round, this is a great plant to have, and they're just really nice as well. Okay, so that was just a quick rundown of all the Pinguicula grandiflora that I've got in the greenhouse at the moment, and from different stages that I've had. So I've only had the grandiflora for, this is the 2nd year now, and from basically those plants of seeds I brought, as well as the Gamier originally, because I didn't know what would grow. And I have got so many, and just think, if each one of those plants is going to produce its own 10 to 20 hibernacula next year, I'm going to have absolutely tons. So I don't know what to really do with them yet, but I do have loads, and they're just a great plant. I really like the plant. It's just a nice sized plant which gets really big and has got a really nice colour. Even though it's just green, it's a really nice lime green, which, you know, just looks amazing, especially in the growing season. And I love them to be outside in the bog barrels. So that is just a quick rundown. I will likely show the bog barrels very soon in the next video. So thank you very much for watching, and I hope you have a great day.